It's not about the big party and the small party. APC, of course, is suffering what I call political flatulence and obesity, because when you gorge so much, that means gluttony.
Yeah.
To when you gorge so much, then you get so. PDP was into that situation.
Yeah, it's
after 2003.
Very well.
The entire Southwest, Lagos was PDP, Southeast entirely was PDP, South PDP, North Central basically, even Kaduna, Katsina, remember Jigawa, etc. All over the place, they overgorged and they needed to disgorge. APC is now gorging, so it will soon disgorge.
So it's a phase.
It's a phase. You see, 2023 was an epistemic rupture, or what they can call epistemic break in our own calculus about power dynamics. You saw him there, Peter B came from nowhere, no governor, no senator, no rep, no councillor. Took the nation by storm. On this studio, I said there will be a massive landfall.
Yeah,
this one 2027 will be a bigger landfall. It's part of the defection.
Interesting.
Of course, because the mandate is the people's mandate. Anybody that comes on this studio or speaks anyone talks about defection as if it is a calamitous existential for the parties doesn't understand the politics.
And this is not new.
It's not new because let's rewind. The fetish about the Constitution, the governors are protected. Once you have a crisis in your party, once you have any sign of trouble, you can walk. That's the fetish of the constitutional provision. That's what we call forbearance and tolerance. Nations are run by norms. Uju Madeke one time as the advisor to Obasanjo said, I don't know whether I'll be sacked if I leave the studio. AIT then said, Mr. President, I want this law to be amended, the constitution, so that your power can be stripped. If a president exercises 60% of the power he has, including the current one, he will not live in this country. He can't exercise it because it's both forbearance and tolerance. So a governor has no name in the ballot paper. It's a party.
It's the political
From 1999, as I said, second national secretary, we had a station in Oyo State where we won. We didn't know who won. It was clear AD won. But then who won the election? When Mba of Enugu State went to contest for the election, we had PDP, we had APC, we had other parties there, Labour Party. The people voted on a symbol. They don't know him. He's a carrier of a party's message. The party is what they recognize by the Constitution, by the Supreme Court even. So you now have taken millions of the vote of a people, desecrated it, desacralized it in a manner of cultural surrender to some external invading force and abandon the mandate of the people. And people are clapping. Well, it is not clapping because they're going to win an election next time, but the very moral fabric, the ethical foundation of the political order is what is at stake. The character of some political elite. Now,
Professor Udenta, I'm asking you this because when there was this experiment in the aborted Third Republic for an SDP and NRC to be brought in place by Babangida, I don't know if he would have, foresaw something like this, because I'm imagining, what if we had only these two parties, SDP and NRC, way up till this period now? So I would say that once SDP is in power, like Abiola had won, so everybody in NRC would have dissolved into SDP. Or if NRC was in power, everybody in SDP would dissolve into...
That's not going to happen.
I don't know.
Now. In 1999, there were three parties. By 2003, if I'm not mistaken, Apuga had been added to the mix. DPP eventually came, and a few others. So between 2003 and 2007, it was like multi-party democracy. 1999 was something a little bigger than two-party system, with a smaller ADMI party in the mix with APP and the PDP. By 5, 7, 8 years later, there were about sometimes 7 parties. Now we have at the time, it grew up to 80-something parties before they started whittling them down. Possibly now about 70, 80, 90, with some new ones coming in. Politics has a way of rebalancing itself. PDP was dominant for 16 years. The other smaller parties couldn't catch up in their individualities and their pluralities or singularity. They didn't come together as a multiform force, as a coherent and cohesive group. They did so in 2003 and then bettered APC as a special purpose vehicle for the sake of seeking power, and they got it in 2015. Now they've been in power for 8 years, and because so reason, this government, this presidency, Mr. President is frightened of his legacy, of his accomplishment. Because if you are strong, you work on your party, grow the party internally, and say, this is what I have done for 2, 3, 4 years. I will run on my own, accomplishments. This government can't run its accomplishment. You have to run on the decapitation of the multi-party democratic framework. That means if you crush all the opposition parties and they're limping, you literally re-enter in 2027. A brilliant strategy where people understand what he's doing. Now, how do you checkmate that? It happened again pre-2013. PDP was rampant. Then CPC, ACN, etc. started coming together. Now you have a PDP that is weakened, still standing, but not what it used to be as a behemoth. You have ADC coming on stream. You have even a new one. People are not watching. ADA.
Yeah.
It has completed, I can tell you for free, it has completed its processes.
All the processes.
All the processes. Absolutely. And that party is, of course, is untainted. It's clean. ADC has a lot of issues.
Yeah, I mean, because that's what I heard. 16 court cases. They may eventually dissolve.
I'm telling you, there's another one people are having. ADA. Watch this name. It will grow in leaps and bounds in the next weeks and months to come, depending what happens with the big opposition parties. So again, they will come together. Factions of the Labour Party, tendencies within these other ones there, they could build a new coalition of force that can give APC a run for the money 2027. But at the end of the day, for me, it's not even a bigger party or a smaller party. It's for me where this democracy lies. In 2003, my party went into an unholy alliance of a sort with PDP.
Yeah, because I wanted to remind you of that. Out of 6 states, 4 were taken away. Only one. Lam additional.
No, all of them were gone.
And then of course you had Tinubu and all of that.
I can tell the story.
I mean, it was
Tinubu was the only one that survived it. Narrowly squeaked through. He didn't run to the center. He didn't say, I want to join the ruling. If you can't be them, join them. He dug in, built his infrastructure, strengthened Lagos, and slowly started taking back the states he felt were inorganically taken away. Osun was the first, Ekiti, Oyo, etc., etc. Today, the same president and his team are browbeating, intimidating, cowardly governors, to leave their party.
Yeah,
he didn't leave his party.
Some people say that they are using the 2003 strategy.
He stood firm. He stood firm. Many governors are standing firm. There could be few. These ones have what I call lack of lineage of power, ancestry of power, or genealogy of power. And from Enugu State, the governor of Gepitamba, he has no lineage of power. I don't know where he's coming from politically. I don't know. This state, I don't know who mentored him.
You would have said people like Sullivan Chime, and Namani, and all of that.
Who mentored him? Who groomed him? Because you see, cultural surrender is when you don't even understand the socio-political and strategic landscape of the country and the party are bringing into the heart of Igbo land. That is where original Eastern Nigeria was better. That's the way the capital.
Yeah, but there's APC in Ebonyi State. There's APC in other states
when I tell you about growing a party, organic growth of a party, a governor woke up one day, called on mine, and said, I'm no longer PDP. I use the muscle I have, the resources I have, in a poverty-stricken environment like you have across Nigeria, where almost everybody depends on the parachutes of the state for survival. I'm going to APC. Who will oppose him? The few who eat for me will go through it, but the masses will speak. As they spoke in 2023 in his own state, as they don't speak 2027 in across Igbo land and across Nigeria.
A very interesting perspective there. Let's talk about how some people say that President Bola Tinubu has smarted people like Atiku Abubakar, Jonathan, Obi, and all of that.
In what sense?
Do you think that they could actually measure up to this president who many say is the first politician, real-time politician to become president in 2027?
Politics is convulsive in its fluid movement. We don't know where we are today. We cannot predict where we are today. We can't predict where you are in the next 2, 3, or 4 months. In the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, forces will realign. Except these politicians have died off. I don't think they've died away. Those even are displacing. Politicians are ghosts. Always we tell people, it can never pin them down in a place. But the moment they sense the weakening of this bloated, glutinous body, they begin to take a walk. And don't forget again, there's some other parties waiting in the wings. Take an State, for example. You dislodged the entire apparatus of APC. You humiliated the sitting minister. He didn't even give a soft landing. You just asked the state chairman of the party, get away, everybody run. Governor is coming in. They're human beings. They're waiting in the wings. Primary elections will come and go. Many, 70-80% will not even smell it. Other parties will open their arms and said, come back to us. We
That's
know.
For those who will lose tickets.
Of course, that is what happens. So you find an APC champion in Enugu State becoming a PDP champion, or an ADC champion, or an ADA champion. That happens, so you don't even know the contours of and dynamics of this power that is evolving to 2027. Run on the basis of record, the president is toast. Because there's nothing. Even the World Bank, talking about the macroeconomic stability, said he grew poverty beyond Buhari's level from 133 billion to 139 million.
But politically, Udenta, I mean, this is someone you've worked with. I mean, shouldn't you be giving Tinubu some flowers? I mean, as someone who has been able to come this far despite what happened ahead of 2023.
On various stages, I gave him credit. Even a few days ago, I said, in 2003, he was last man standing. He didn't fold over. The defenders unleashed war on him, took away local government apparatus he created, seized the money the way they've done with Osun State, who is still going nowhere, who is in court challenging. That's ancestral, base of several powerful figures in the West there. Even our young governor, Makinde, is standing firm with the convention of his party. The governor of Bauchi State, the chairman of the governors forum, Bala Mohammed, received the president via the vice president just some few days ago. And later I said, my party is my party, I'm going nowhere. So you can respect a sitting president and the apparatus of governance, the center, be loyal to a party. But Atiku did it 2003. I gave him kudos for that. He didn't only stop at Lagos, he grew. My worry is the chicken-hearted, godless and cowardly governors who will not take that template.
Well, there are still about 3 of them that we hear
I'm giving you the description. Who will not take that template? Who said, Mr. President, stop pressing us. Nobody pressed you in 2003. You stood firm as opposition. You survived it. You grew even the brand in your zone. Allow us where we are. We are part of Nigeria. We're not an appendage of the federal. And for the case of the governor of Enugu State, who talked about the Southeast denying, APC, the PDP, then the Southeast, the presidency, it's going to come of it. Let's trace the history. 1999, we were part of the conversation post-Abacha, post-Abiola. What brought Obasanjo and not Ekwene? Seeing the presidency, ultimately went to every state in the Southeast. At the time, the powerful deputy president, powerful deputy speaker, at the time, chairman, Senate Committee on Works, House Committee on Works, not to talk of SGF, not to talk of the coordinating minister of the economy with international global acclaim, central bank governor. Under Obasanjo presidency, and Igbo's son was even presumed to be the most powerful for 8 years. If you remember the name I'm talking about. Yeah, for 8 years. For 8 years. Doing and undoing. And beyond that, the Ejirika was the first army chief since 1966. 2 IGPs, Okiro and Onovo. And then the presidency, of course, is for you to contest with other groups and say, how do you cut their deals? How do you reach compromises to get it? We've not gotten it. But their son was closed by in 2023. Did any of these governors back him? Did they say, oh, hello, this man is now pulling all the weight across the country. Let us support him. He's coming 2027, and these same governors and ministers are telling him, stay away. The job is settled for another.
Well, they said they want to go to the center to actually get this ticket ahead of 2010.
The question you ask yourself is, I wish we have all the more time and have people to fact check me.
Yeah.
Enugu State and KB, which one is performing better? Yes, for indices of development.
Yeah.
Enugu State. And possibly...
Yeah, but when you are the center, there are some benefits that you get, which he, as the only PDP governor, seems to be missing.
The only way you can get it is when you look at the performance of the states, of the governors already getting it. Kebbi State is getting it. Katsina is getting it. Possibly other states I can't remember now are getting it who are APC. I'm asking you, are they doing better than PDP controlled states who are not getting whatever? It's something you are getting that is not constitutional. Is that what they're talking about? You mean there's some money the presidency packages and gives to people under the table?
No, I'm asking,
I'm listening. I'm saying there's a constitution they have that is federal in nature. I'm not a fetish of constitution. I don't believe fetish inside the constitution. It's not a fetish. A governor has means and ways of getting constitutionally prescribed money, beginning from IGR, which you have to develop. Then what is meant for you as a location, then other special intervention funds due to you. If APC governors, from what we hear, it may be a lie, it may be rumor, it could be a allegation, are getting something under the table. And people are being lured to come and get something under the table. As I said, verify, find out. If that is not the truth, then if your state, you are doing better in virtual indices of development than the state at the center where you are running to, what are you going there to do?